everyone, your designers are here. I'm Anita from Cedar Hill Farmhouse.
And I'm Yvonne at Stone Gable.
And I'm Kelly from My Soulful Home.
We've got tips, tricks, decorating advice, and more. So let's get started.
Today is episode 24, Frumpy to Fabulous. And I'm I know. Now, we're not talking about our personal selves. We're talking about our decor we have in our house. Because I don't think any of us would fall into the frumpy category.
No, ma'am.
Oh,
Okay,
no,
good.
I'm dressed like I'm going to the Oscars right now, aren't you?
Good for you.
Well, I'm not exactly that. Okay. You can't see me, so I could say I am too, I guess.
There you go. Well, what we're going to talk about today is something that I get asked a lot about from my blog readers, and it's not the very top question, because the top question is what are your paint colors, but it comes in a close second, and it is how do you update the furniture you have, or how do you update a room, because people are always wondering, does my house look a little frumpy?
Oh. Hey, can I jump in here before we
Yeah,
get
absolutely.
from frumpy to fabulous? Because
Yeah.
something fabulous has been going on with this podcast.
Do tell.
Good.
Yes, well, I think you two know, but I want to let
We do.
everybody who's listening know how much we appreciate the fact that you are listening and that you are sharing a little bit of your life with us, a few times a week or once a week. We are thrilled, and we appreciate the fact that you're giving us not a few minutes, but sometimes we keep talking up to 45 minutes of your day that you're sharing with us.
We are very thankful for that.
I'm completely blown away. We had no idea what sort of response we would get when we started this. We are recording this on February 28th, but you won't hear it until probably sometime in April. But to date, we have almost 75,000 downloads already, and we haven't even been doing it for a
Amazing.
month.
Yeah.
And it's our listening audience, so all of you are not just in the United States, you're everywhere. In fact, we've learned recently that we are the top #1 design podcast in Cyprus. So we're giving a big shout out to Cyprus.
Go Cyprus!
Today. Cyprus, we love you and thank you for listening. And,
Yes.
And let
if
me
you
just
want to
say,
hear anything,
we're not talking
let
about
us know.
we're not talking about Cyprus, Texas, the little town nearby here. We're talking about the country
country.
Cyprus.
Yes, the whole country. And in here in the U.S., we are, we wake up in the morning and we check, and oftentimes we are in the top 10 design podcasts
Woohoo! Love that too.
in the U.S. too. So, iTunes has been very good in sharing us, and so there we are. But that's because you guys are listening.
Thank you.
So
That's right.
thank you so much, and let's get back to Frumpy to Fabulous.
All right, this is for all of our fabulous listeners today then. All right, we're going to talk about frumpy first. This is what I get a lot from my readers, what can I do? So how would you define frumpy?
I'm going to say it looks like your grandma's house. That's frumpy.
Maybe my great grandma's house.
So, Kelly, you're so young.
Oh my!
my goodness.
She's thrown the age card. Okay.
Oh, please. We all know you're only a few years younger than me, but I digress. So, I'm picturing like doilies on everything, lots of floral patterns, lots of tchotchkes lying around, lots of little stuff, lots of clutter. That's kind of what I'm picturing. Is that what you're
Yeah.
picturing?
Yeah,
Well, when
it can be just something that feels like it needs to be refreshed.
Yeah, absolutely. Or just that when you walk into a place, you notice that maybe the things haven't been, like you said, refreshed or updated in quite a while.
Right. Maybe it's the height of fashion from 30 years ago.
That's a good way to put it. That's absolutely right. And just like the styles that we wear change, so do the styles of decor change. Now, I want to define another style. What is formal? Because sometimes people think when they think frumpy, they'll think formal, but they're not the same things, are they?
No. Frumpy is more, as you said, like a stopped in time look, just too much. And And formal is always going to be in style. It's a classic look. I'm picturing sort of a central hall colonial home with, some traditional furniture laid out in a traditional format, and usually some sort of neutrals, maybe little pops of color, but really well done. And that can stand the test of time and wouldn't necessarily be dated. So to me, that's what formal is.
And I like the idea of mixing formal elements in. I mean, if you want a non-frumpy look, I think you want to go for something I call casual elegance. So you've taken
that's nice.
some formal elements and mixed it with a bunch of casual elements. And it's the juxtaposition of the two. I like to call it rustic and refined. I think
like
that's
high-low.
Position.
Yeah,
right. I
love
think
that
that's
too.
what kind of helps bring it into the now and what's current.
That's really good, Anita. I also think when I think of formal, I think not only of classic, but I think of it, as you said, refined, sophisticated, a style that when you walk into somebody's house, you think, wow, this is true beauty. And that's what I think of as formal. And even though it might have some elements that were in style 30 years ago, they've been so beautifully mixed with updated things that it actually elevates everything in the room.
Yes, well said. I agree with that. It's a
And when I
mix.
think of formal, I think of symmetry. And so symmetry sort of doesn't go along with having a lot of clutter. So if you have symmetrical things, you don't necessarily have just a whole ton of things, on the tabletop or on the coffee table. And probably if you've got a traditional formal look, you've probably got some really great antiques. So yeah, I think it's definitely not in the same category as frumpy at all.
And exactly, and formal has an edited look, a curated look.
Yes, absolutely. I would agree with that.
Everything is purposefully placed so it works with everything out. When I'm thinking frumpy, I'm thinking just loads of stuff piled in. There's not a lot of editing, not a lot of curating, like, will this work with this, purposefully done. All right, let's talk about what kind of decor looks frumpy. Now, we don't want you to shoot the messenger. We're just bringing these things to you.
I'm glad you're the one saying this, Siobhan.
I know. Didn't we do one where I was asking the questions and the same thing happened, and I said, "Don't shoot the messenger."
Well, because I've gotten some. I remember a reader on my blog, because I said something similar to this, and I was raked over the coals for that. So I'm going to let you lead on this one. But I'm agreeing with you.
Okay, we want to just say if you love your home and love your style, that's all. Really, isn't that what matters? And it's a sanctuary to you. But if you are like many of my readers who write to me and just say, I don't want my house to look frumpy. Well, here's the deal. If you're over, let's say, 40 years old, 35 years old, and you've collected things. It's
True.
not like you want to throw everything out and start again with all updated new things. You can look at somebody's home and tell what age they are because of maybe their collections, but it's that refinement. You don't want to keep everything that you've ever collected, but you want to keep things refined and curated. So let's talk about what kind of things that maybe you might consider not keeping because it looks a little frumpy and outdated. What do you think, girls?
Well, I think what you're saying is really key. You don't want to keep everything. I mean, if you have everything that you've ever bought for your home from 20 years ago, it's really time to weed out some things.
Yes. And not only that, if you haven't bought a dining room suit in 30 years, well, first of all, you don't buy a suit anymore. I mean, if you're happy with it and you want to live with it, great. But if, things need updated. And there's different ways to do that. So let's just talk about some kinds of decor that look frumpy? Do we have any examples? Let's do some examples of that.
Well, I think clutter in general looks frumpy. If you've got a ton of little things setting everywhere, maybe it's a collection of, I don't know, just some little figurines or something. What are those little figurines called? The
Hummels.
If you've got like,
I know I'm going to get, please do not email me about this. My aunt is a Hummel lover, so I understand. But go ahead, Anita.
well, and I think if you collect them, that's great, but maybe corral them in a cabinet rather than have them spread all over your countertop. Because I think the clutter ends up looking very frumpy.
Well, I have to say, my mother is a avid Hummel collector, has been for years. She got one when she was very young, and it was special to her, and she loves them. And she has purchased ones, on trips with her sisters. They collect them, but she does it in a beautiful way. She has, no matter what house they happen to be in, they've moved a couple times in the last few years. She has a special cabinet for them, or she has something made specially for them, and it's not an old china cabinet where she's got a zillion of them stuffed in. So she's got them on her shelves, artfully placed, mixed in with some other things, and it really looks beautiful. So if you love that sort of thing, that might be a way that you would want to display them. You'll appreciate them more than if they're all sort of smushed together on the same height or the same plane, on a table or such. And they really look beautiful, and they touch her heart. So I know my mom will listen to this one, so
Right, but also,
she teases me all the time. She says, "When I
Hi,
go."
Kelly's mom.
so
She
but-
teases me. She says, "When I go, is the first thing you're going to do sell all my Hummels on eBay?"
oh my goodness.
She's a joker.
But
she
these
knows I probably wouldn't
collections-
be like the third thing I did.
These collections can really take over a space.
They can.
I think this, if you've been collecting something for a long time, it might be time to curate your collection. I've been collecting dishes forever, and recently I kind of couldn't help myself and I bought some more, but the good news was, because, I just do that.
You're sick, Anita.
I know, it is a terrible sickness. Somebody help me. But what I've
No,
done...
because I'll take them off your hands, Anita.
I know.
I'll
and Mom
help
are
you.
like, we'll help you. We'll
Yes,
take you to our
yes.
houses.
But what
you're
I
right.
did was I looked at all the, set all my dishes out and said, okay, which ones are my favorites and which ones am I kind of tired of? So I got rid of a bunch of dishes, and I got rid of probably a third to half of my dishes. And to be honest with you, it felt great. It felt good.
Well, I really wish
freeing.
you had
It
discussed
really
that
is.
with us first. But I had the opportunity to do that when we moved. I was very much like slash and burn. We're purging. It's gonna my new house is gonna have a different look, and I knew I had to store all this stuff. So if I really didn't love it, out it went. But back to Yvonne's question, I think a lot of florals, patterns,
Big florals. Big florals,
like a la
especially.
Laura Ashley, maybe.
Now,
Not that
we
I don't
love Laura Ashley.
I know.
I
but
love Laura.
you know what I'm talking about. Or
I think what you're saying are maybe some of the older
the
patterns
older
that are
ones.
floral, because
Yes,
Laura Ashley has
yes.
some very updated.
the giant, yes, the iconic Laura
Unpolished
Ashley.
cotton.
Right, the giant cabbage roses. And Ralph Lauren was doing those too for years. I mean, I remember having, countless duvets and the big florals and different colors and stuff like that. So, if you have a couch that happens to be, or sofa that happens to be in that pattern, and you can't change it, then maybe go bold with some really mod patterned pillows and some solid throws or something, and just like really shake it up.
Yeah, I think you can even do a throw over, or a blanket or something, or throw a solid over kind of the center section of your sofa, or slip cover it, or slip cover
That's
the
secret.
cushions and replace
Well, we all know that's making slip covers is a slippery slope into a
It is.
So we have to be
It's a
careful
slippery
there.
slope into another profession.
Are you talking about the sofa episode that hasn't come out yet?
We're talking about the sofa episode. But girls, I'm just gonna do a little more tough love. You are so gentle.
Oh, my
here's the
goodness.
deal. If you own a very big floral or a plaid sofa with big rolled arms, I don't know that throwing an Afghan over it's going to help too much.
true.
That's like your biggest piece of furniture
Yeah.
that you probably have, like in a living room. And I'm going to just say, get rid of it. Just tough love. Get rid of
Well,
it.
and I know because sometimes
I know.
yeah, if
I
it's
know.
a 20-year-old sofa,
You need to get rid
go
of it.
ahead and move it out and get, because even though you can recover it, why not just go ahead and get a new one?
Yeah, and just for
Very
even
true.
health reasons,
Okay.
like the way you sit or lay on it, or just it has a life. It has a expiration date. All things have an expiration date.
Good point. Good
And your
point.
sofa has expired. It's laying there dead, so you need to get rid of it.
You wouldn't expect it, Anita, but she's the mean one.
I know, isn't that amazing? Now,
No,
Kelly, I thought you and I were going to be the ones kind of
say
saying
it ain't
stuff.
so.
Laura
don't you
Ashley,
give
I
me a
love
bad
Laura
name.
Ashley.
No,
Did you
no,
know-
you're the sweet one. You're the sweet
I-
one.
did you
I'm
know,
always the sweet one. That's
You are the
right.
sweet one. Well,
All right,
I don't
all
know.
right.
You're kind of a, I don't know, Goldilocks in disguise.
I
there.
know,
I'm not
really,
sure.
but no, this is just with love that I'm saying it. It's like, okay, take the medicine, it's better for you in the long run. And
Okay.
if it's just, yeah, just get rid of it.
Okay.
There's
All right,
things
so
you
we
get
got
rid
rid
of
of the
and
couch.
things
And
you
here's
don't.
the thing,
sofa.
you can love antiques, you can love your collections, you can love all these old things, but just be judicious about it. Don't go overboard.
Right.
That's right.
Just
That's
you're
right.
going to have to
Right.
pull some things out. And honestly, that the clutter is, I think, the worst thing you can do to yourself.
Yeah, I do believe that's the worst. Let's talk about, are there any other things that look quote unquote frumpy to you?
I think old, not old, I shouldn't say old, but the traditional shaped lampshades that are maybe in a silk
yes.
or a silk type of material. Now, if you have a very formal home and you have, two of those and they're symmetrical and they look nice with your sofa and it's all working, that may work well for you. But if you don't have that really type of formal home that we were describing a little bit ago, and you have these lampshades, they do look dated. Sometimes they're just the ones that came with the lamp anyway, and they're not spectacular. They just kind of, are there. You might decide to refresh those, and that's a really inexpensive way to do it. I mean, heck, you can go to TJ Maxx or Home Goods and you get a whole lamp for, $20 or $30. I know I just did that. And it'll come with
or
a burlap
World Market.
shade or a woven shade, and
That's
that
right.
goes a long way to freshening up your home. So maybe lampshades is not something you would necessarily think of as your first go-to, but I really promise you, if you have those kinds
Makes
of
a
lampshades
difference.
and you change them, it'll make a big difference.
Well, and Kelly, I'm going to add to what you're saying. I think you are so right about this. And what I love to do is to buy vintage lamps and then put a really kind of modern drum lampshade on it, and it kind of does that mix of the old and the new. And
I love
see,
that.
and I took an
And that's
old,
an updated look. That's an updated look.
I took an old Italian lamp that's carved, it's blue and gold, and it had the frumpiest lampshade on it, and I found it at a thrift store, changed out the lampshade, and I think it looks amazing now.
yeah,
Oh, that's such a good idea.
I
Okay,
also-
here's
Oh, I'm
another thing when I'm thinking about frumpy. Oh gosh, I am going to be the mean one. I am the mean one on this episode.
No, you're
it's-
loving.
I know, but it's just
they
out
don't
of
even
love
notice you're being mean.
Out of love I say this. Now, if you have beautiful cherry or mahogany furniture that is beautiful,
It's going to be mean.
you can add that with your new things. But if you have like that sort of fake reproduction, not really well made cherry or mahogany furniture, paint it.
Exactly.
Painting furniture is not hard to do, and we'll put we all have things we've painted, and we have a lot of blog posts on them, so we'll put those in the show notes for you. Painting is such an easy thing to do and a great way to update and upcycle and give a second life to that cherry and mahogany furniture. Because honestly, unless it's it's really good, it does look frumpy. Oh, yeah. I hate to be the
Okay.
Yeah.
bearer of bad news.
She said it.
Yeah, she did. Send
She
her
said
an
Can I ask
email.
you, do you agree with me? I'm
I
throwing
may
you
or
under
may-
the bus, girls.
I may or may not be nodding.
Okay. I'm just going to have to send you lots of loves and hugs and kisses over at the end just to tell you I'm not being mean. This is what I get asked all the time. And I know that I can't give my $6,000 mahogany inlaid table, I'll just be honest with you, away. My kids don't want it.
Yeah. Yeah, I had something similar.
And I mean, I could just pass out over that. But guess what? I don't want it anymore either. I've had to keep it almost 30 years just so I could get the money's worth out of it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Okay, so let's say maybe you do or you don't have a big floral couch, or you do or you don't have marginal mahogany furniture. But even if you did or if you don't, there are ways today or this week or in the next 30 days to really refresh your home, and we have tips for that for sure, right? A couple of things that I would say is shake it up. I'm going to give you an example of what I do with my clothing. Okay, a few years ago at a consignment shop, I scored 3 St. John suits. Wildly expensive,
I
a la
love
Nancy
them.
Reagan.
Yes.
I was not going to wear those together ever. But the fabric and the way they're made, and the stunning one has little pearls. Okay, fabulous. So I wear the jacket with my ripped skinny jeans and
I
a hottie
love
pair
it.
of heels.
Yeah, perfect. That's
And
the
a tank
rustic
top.
with the refined. You've got it down.
Exactly. And then
love it.
sometimes I wear the skirt with maybe a buttoned or tied denim shirt and a pair of boots.
Well, and we wear boots with everything here. So we wear boots with dresses in Texas all
You
day
were
long.
Right,
styling, girl. You're styling. That's what I have to say about you.
Well,
Yeah,
so my
she is.
idea is that you shake it up, just like with that. If I wore that whole suit, I would say, oh, I look so formal, borderline frumpy. Especially if I'm having a
A
bad
little
hair
too
day.
staid.
A little
right.
too staid, like, oh, okay. But no, when you shake it up, the elements banging into each other, and my favorite word, juxtaposition, right? It really
Yes.
freshens up everything. So the St. John jacket looks great. The jeans look great. Everything looks great together. So how do you do that in your house? Well, it's really easy. It's accessories as well. Like bring in an animal print pillow. Bring in one of those fuzzy Mongolian pillows
Yes,
that
I
we
love
love.
those. My favorites. So the other thing is, what about, because there's so many gorgeous chairs I see at the thrift store. They're
I was just going to say
beautiful.
chair. You took the chair right out of my mouth.
I'm sorry. You go
It's
ahead.
okay, you go. You go.
Well, just that there's these gorgeous, because I do
Are you
this.
going to talk about French chairs again?
Yes, of course, French
Okay,
chairs.
okay.
Because here's what happens: the fabric they pick out, or people pick out, is dated. It's ugly.
Yes.
And then they go, "Ugh, I don't want this chair anymore." They take it to the thrift store, and I gobble them up, and then just pay someone to reupholster them, and it's not that much. If you got, if you have connections like I do, and then you just kind of, and sometimes it's not even that much fabric, and then you have this updated look, this gorgeous chair. All they needed was new fabric.
Yeah.
And it couldn't be a very a style of a chair that was maybe from 30 years ago, but you put great fabric on it, or maybe if it has any wood, you paint that. If you don't like the finish it was done in, and you've just got this one of a kind, gorgeous chair.
These French chairs, they never go out of style. I'm telling you,
Right,
if you don't
right.
have a French chair, just go get a French chair.
I'm talking about older chairs, though, not maybe a
any
French
chair.
chair.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
amazing
no,
how just
any chair. You can get a chair at a thrift store for $5, $20 top. I mean, I have this fabulous chair. It's waiting in line to be painted, but I'm going to put some kind of pop of color on it, and the fabric is really not that bad. It's a very neutral kind of pulled silky esque fabric, and so I don't even think I'm going to bother with the expense of reupholstering it. I'm going to paint the chair, and then I'm going to put a little lumbar pillow on it that's just when I find the perfect little one,
Great
that's just going to
idea.
be this awesome little pop, and that can elevate and freshen up a room so quickly. And if you're matchy, shake it up.
yes.
If you've got a couple of
Frumpy,
two chairs,
matchy, frumpy.
and frumpy go together.
and that's
So-
a good point. If everything's too matchy, that's going to make your house look frumpy too. So
Sure,
mix
and
it up.
just like we're saying, get rid of that big sofa, get something nice, classic and neutral. Hey, you could even keep your cherry coffee table with that and put a a really pretty fun chair beside it that you've had redone, and just so it's not all matchy. That's exactly right.
Yeah, create something unexpected. So if you have the cherry and you're like, I can't get rid of the cherry, I don't want to even move it, it's just going to be here. If that's a coffee table or something, put a lucite tray on it.
Yes,
and,
lucite.
a pop of something organic and make a pretty little vignette, and it'll change the entire look.
Pesto pork chops over Parmesan polenta. Not that easy to say, but oh so easy to make with Green Chef. Green Chef is the #1 meal kit company for eating well, and we have such a great deal for you. You're going to save $250. Listen on for the details on that. Green Chef makes eating well easy for any lifestyle, whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, or just looking to eat more balanced meals. We're getting into the busy holiday season, so it's a perfect time to have Green Chef help you out. Let Green Chef take the work out of eating clean this holiday season with their chef-crafted, nutritionist-approved recipes featuring fresh ingredients and nothing artificial. And you know what? You don't have to lose track of your healthy eating habits during the holidays. Every Green Chef customer gets a free session with their registered dietitians who will walk you through how to make clean eating work for you. So sign up for your free session and start on the road towards better health today. And that deal I want to tell you about, visit greenchef.com/DTT250 and use the code DTT250 for $250 off your order. So that's greenchef.com/DTT250 and use the code DTT250 for $250 off your order. Inevitably, with the new year come wellness goals. One very effective and easy to reach goal is to add Dose to your wellness regime. Dose is expertly formulated organic wellness shots that support your liver in one delicious drink. Formulated with ingredients clinically shown to support liver health. Potent turmeric, milk thistle, and ginger. There's 0 sugar and 0 calories. Did you know that your liver performs over 500 special functions? Since I learned all that my liver is doing, I started with Dose to support all those vital functions. I take a shot of refreshing Dose 2 times per week to combat everyday toxins from food, meds, alcohol, and unhealthy air. Since starting with Dose about a month ago, I am definitely feeling an overall improvement in my health. So if you want to give Dose a shot and invest in your health like I have, Dose is offering DTT listeners 15% off your first order, plus an additional 15% off if you subscribe for a monthly delivery. That's 30% off your first order. So go to dosedaily.co/DTT and use the code DTT. That's dosedaily.co.co/DTT and use the code DTT.
I was just at a client's house the other day, and she had inherited some furniture from her mom, and I'm looking at them like sort of drooling. She's like, oh, I don't know what I'm going to do with this, and I was waiting for her to say, do you want it? And I was like, oh, and then she was right on track. She said, it's too dated for me, but I thought I would put a chair next to it and just make the chair be, so interesting, either, in fabric or in color. And I was like, you are right on, sister. Let's do it. Yeah. So I'm not going to get that piece. She's going to keep it, but it's going to be great.
Darn.
But what Yvonne said, I think it's the same thing with some of these club chairs. Have you noticed the older chairs just seem to be huge and just take up so much space in the room, whereas if you change out some of these, upholstered club chairs, the newer ones just have skinnier lines. They don't have those huge rolled arms, and they just fit better in the room.
Yeah.
And
Rolled
they just
arms
have
are a
cleaner-
dead frump giveaway. They are.
Yeah. So I mean, that's
those
another
big ones.
way.
Let's talk. I know we only have a few minutes left, but let's talk about things you can easily update in your house that will give it a new look. And I'm going to talk about picture frames. We all have pictures. I've sort of been beaten up a little bit in my blog once in a while because people say your house doesn't have any pictures of your family. Well, that's on purpose because I sort of don't want those photographed, but my bedroom does, and I haven't shown my bedroom in years and years, and I'll do that this spring. But to update that, and I looked at my pictures, I'm thinking, oh, I've got like all these flowery gilded picture frames, and update them because they do look a little frumpy, I'm going with the same color palette for a frame. I'm going to vary my heights, use odd numbers, and I'm going to really edit it and curate what pictures are my best and what do I want.
Great idea. And actually, buy some of these old 150-year-old, 200-year-old frames that are all beaten up and the gesso's kind of broken off in places, and they're beautiful. And
They are beautiful.
just put them empty on the wall. I love them.
Oh, that's a great style, especially for your French style. What about updating faux plants?
Oh, yeah, I got in trouble on this one, so you two, y'all are going to have to touch this one.
Whoops. We may have a lot of mail coming in after this one.
Faux plants. Anita doesn't have faux plants. She has a living, thriving ivy.
Right now she does. We need to, we'll call it Ivy. I mean, what else can you call it?
Perfect.
We're going to call her Ivy.
How's Ivy?
Yeah. I just think that, there are so many gorgeous, lifelike faux plants now and flowers. And I say go for it, but make sure that a person looking at that is having a really hard time telling whether it's real or not.
So maybe go
so
with
you're
the
saying
plant rather than the
updating-
arrangements. Some of the arrangements.
Oh, no arrangements. No faux arrangements. No. I mean, unless you can spend like $1,500 on one. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, what's your email, Yvonne? Stone Gable?
She is so bossy today.
Well, I get this all the time. And I just want to say, you got to clean them and keep them nice.
Yeah.
But if you can't tell if that ficus or that fiddly fern isn't real until you're touching it, then you're probably okay.
Yeah.
So you're saying get real, girls, or get
Real.
close.
Good idea.
Okay.
And I have one more. Crown molding. I love crown molding.
Me too.
But here's
crown molding.
frumpy crown molding, and honestly, is that one little tiny thin strip that people have around their ceiling.
Whoa, I
That's-
never thought about that.
Yeah, that's really
easy- and
dated.
That's not you can add to that and easily.
Exactly.
That's true.
Add to it and make it thicker. Good point, Anita. That's
Okay,
right on.
While we're looking up there is one thing, and I don't want to be the mean one, but
What are you going to say?
Just
Are you
whisper
talking
it in my
about
ear and I'll
ceiling
say it.
remember the wallpaper borders?
Oh,
I
yes.
know. Yes, get rid of those. Get rid
Yes.
of
See, look, Yvonne's got she said it.
Hey,
I just brought up the topic.
I'm already into it, so I might as well go.
You're
no,
on
it's
a
out
roll,
of love.
baby.
It's out of love. It's out of love.
StoneGable@gmail.com.
You are so bad. But that, and also while we're looking up, heavy window treatments.
Oh, yeah.
They say old, like tassels and all of that. And they're beautiful. I love material and I love trim, but it does look dated.
Yeah.
That's just not how we live anymore.
The heavy curtains, yeah. That's true.
So, girls, we've given you quite a few ideas to chew on.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Because see, I didn't even say get rid of your grandmom's Afghan. That I really wanted to say that, but I didn't say it this time.
Okay, well, we joked about that, but let me say that my grandma, and I wish I had learned to crochet when she tried to teach me, did make beautiful Afghans. And here's the thing, the one, you've seen it. I mean, she was very frugal, and she did it from little bits of yarn, and maybe that's how that look came, the black background with all the different colors.
Oh, yeah. I have one of those.
So I have one of those. I
do too.
And actually that one was given to my mom at her wedding shower.
Oh, now you don't
And-
throw those away.
No,
They're
I don't throw
beautiful.
them away. We use them, and I didn't use them. And she made one when I got into Boston College. She made it in the BC colors, and then she made another one with these beautiful flowers. And here's the thing: I didn't use them for years because I thought, that's just not my look, and just maybe. But I found out I've pulled the black one out, and it's kind of unexpected. See, sometimes you think it's frumpy in a category, but then you put it in a room that is, not like that at all. Like if my entire room looked like that and had that dated look,
yes.
it wouldn't be interesting. But when I throw it on the sofa in my living room here, I think it looks great. It has like a little boheme feel to it.
Exactly.
So be careful.
Exactly.
Just don't overdo with some of these elements. Kind of just carefully curating, I think is what we
That's
say.
exactly right. That's
And
exactly
isn't it what
right.
we say all the time? It's mixing it up, and it's
mixing it up.
old and new. It's sleek and it's textured. And when you're adding all these different elements together, you can make them work instead of having one look. All matching furniture in one pattern, and your border wallpaper and all of that. That is frumpy, no matter what stage in time it was. You need to shake it up.
Green Chef is a delicious delight any time of year, but especially during the holidays. What a wonderful vision to behold as the Green Chef boxes on your doorstep. Green Chef is the #1 meal kit for eating well. And it makes eating well so easy with plans to fit every lifestyle, whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, or just looking to eat a more balanced diet. So let Green Chef take the work out of eating clean this holiday season. And if you've got guests coming, shop Green Bundles. They're now available at the Green Market. It's your one-stop shop for nutritious grab-and-go breakfasts, including vegan options, brunch kits, wholesome lunches, ready-to-eat snacks, veggie sides, and more. You can feel your best this December and do your best with Green Chef because they offset 100% of the delivery emissions as well as 100% of the plastic in every box. Go to greenchef.com/60DTT and use the code 60DTT and get 60% off plus 20% off your next 2 months. greenchef.com/60DTT and use the code 60DTT to get 60% off plus 20% off your next 2 months. Go ahead, clean out your closet, then head straight to Quince. I love every item Quince offers, from wardrobe to decor, and I can really recommend their Ultra Stretch Super Wide Leg Pant at $49.90. The price is unbeatable, and the look is so flattering. It keeps you in on top and flares out of the bottom. Everything feels right with Quince. The price, the quality, and the sustainability. Quince offers a range of luxury wardrobe and home goods at prices within reach. And like Quince's clothing, their home goods are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices, along with premium fabrics and finishes. Once you've cleaned out your closet and refreshed with Quince, you can also add something to your home decor. So give your wardrobe and your home the refresh it needs with Quince. Go to quince.com/DTT to get free shipping and 365-day returns on your next order. That's Quince, QUINCE.com/DTT for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/DTT. And let me know how you love those pants.
And here's a good example. If you've been listening, you probably know I have a fetish for jewelry. That I don't think you can have too much. And Bobby, you can never buy me too much. It's always the perfect gift. I used to turn my nose up at costume jewelry. But here's the deal. It has gotten so beautiful. Mm-hmm. Just like furniture's gotten so beautiful, like not the highest end. You don't have to always have the highest end. I sometimes mix it up a little bit. And guess what?
Go.
Nobody can tell what is the real deal and what maybe is a fake on me. High and low. You just can't tell because you mix it up. Same thing with our furniture.
I agree. Mm-hmm. Good analogy. I like it.
You don't know whether you got it from Schumacher or you got it from Target if you put it all together.
So, and here's a tip on this. When you're looking at your room and you want to say, oh, I'm going to see, I I think sometimes people say, I spent too much for that, or I can't get rid of that. So what I like to do is just pull some things out of the room and then maybe just set them in another room or in the hallway, just temporarily. What you want to do is just pull them out temporarily and just see if you like it. So you're not committing to get rid of certain things.
Oh, Anita, good idea.
No, just try it. Just try a test, and then that's completely reversible. And then if you decide you love the new look, which I think you will, then you can go on and move those things on and bless somebody with them.
Anita, that is such a good idea.
I love that. Bless somebody with them. Well, you have all blessed us with your time today, and we are looking forward to talking to you again in a day or so. But remember, we are here to inspire you to create a beautiful home. Until next time. Hey there, if you're loving our podcast like we're loving our podcast, we would love you to rate and review us. Head to iTunes to do that. It's easy and it would mean so much to us. And if you do rate and review us, we're going to enter you to win a fantastic giveaway. The details for the giveaway are in the show notes for this episode, and you can find the show notes at decoratingtipsandtricks.com.